Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we are going to present about the financial statement analysis for Hextar Global Berhad. So we will start with the introduction part, followed by the analysis of financial ratio, common size, year-to-year changes, cash flow, and last we will conclude the strengths and weaknesses in conclusion part. Hextar Global Berhad is incorporated in Malaysia as a private limited company on 13 October 1990. The company mission is that they want to build shareholder value by carving a niche market in the global, earns the respect of the market for outstanding products and services, and also endorse the human capital development and enhancing the business synergy in diversity. The company's vision is focused to being the preferred business partners and employer of choice. The company has diversified the business operations over 30 years and done involved in pesticide, fertilizers, specialty chemicals, research and development, consumer products, and biogas processing system. The company has expanded its operation in 7 countries with more than 500 employees, with giving a better serving as one of the best supporting system towards customer and suppliers from more than 30 countries across the continents. The company had also officially changed its name from Halex Holding Berhad to Hextar Global Berhad. Moving on to the next, which is industry analysis. The method that we using is Potter's 5 forces framework. It consists of 5 industry analysis.
Firstly, intensity of industry rivalry. Lack of product differentiation tends to increase the intensity of competition. Due to rivalry increase, the company will be compared by the same customers and resources. And according to Bursa Malaysia, there are more than 15 competitors in this subsector chemical industry that can be recognized, which operated in Malaysia. Secondly, threat of potential entrants. Hextar Global Berhad is one of the best manufacturing and distribution company in Malaysia in their industry. So the possibility for the comers to enter is limited, which the newcomers have struggling to compete with the existing company that needs them to defeat their distributors. And thirdly, bargaining power of buyers. It is referring to the pressure that distributors can put on the company. If the distributor is looking for the better quality of product, they can get from others company which provide into their needs. And this is happening when the company have more competitors into the same industry. Next, bargaining power of suppliers. It happens when the company has much substitution for the input of product, that it's easy for them to switch from the current supplier. It will increase the bargaining power of the company. And last, the industry is always competing with another industry producing a similar substitute product. The threat of substitute goods and services for this company is high due to many products from the other company can fulfill the consumer's demand. For instance, wet wipes from Magic Ideal Industries Sundaram Berhad can be substitute product for this company, which they also provide consumer products such as the disposable healthcare products.
Next, I will present about the strategy analysis, which are market penetration, market development, and also diversification.
Firstly, market penetration, the strategy that focuses on increasing the sales of existing product to an existing market. This strategy aims to expand their business expansion to gain the market share by having the huge of distribution from other competitors. They had continuing the business opportunity for the products and services, which will enable to expand the business in the market. Next, market development. The company had diversified into the Internet of Things, known as IoT and biogas business. The Hextar Global Berhad company has continued its expansion plan by setting up a new subsidiary company named as Hextar IoT Sundaram Berhad that involved in the business of marketing, distribution, and supply consultancy, and also management services of smart agriculture product using 5G technology in plantation industry. Therefore, they need to adapt with new environment and compete with others well-established business. Third, is diversification. It is the ideal growth strategy that identified by a company by developing a new product or business in a new market. This strategy is riskier compared to other strategy analysis to growth for a long-term period in a new market. For example, the company has successfully completed the proposed acquisition exercise, and also the company planning for long-term growth and business expansion, which is the Hextar Biogas Rendahan Berhad, had collaborated with the Malaysian Palm Oil Board in development of a biogas harnessing system.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Tira binti Muhammad Saidi, and I will discuss about the company's financial ratio and also the common size. Now let's look at the company's financial ratio. The first analysis that we have done is looking at the day to sell inventory. Based on the overall 4 years ratio, the day to sell inventory ratio is decreasing from 107 days in 2017 to 88 days in 2020. So it indicates that the company's ability to sell its inventory is improving. The following ratio is average collection period. Looking at the overall performance from 2017 to 2018, the ratio is slightly decreased. However, from 2018 to 2019, the days for the company to collect its account receivable had doubled from 61 days to 127 days. So overall, the company's ability to generate sales from the inventory is deteriorating from 2017. Looking at the account receivable turnover, the company's ability to turn over its account receivable is inconsistent. So from the data, we can see that from 2017 to 2018, the ratio are increasing, but from 2018 to 2019, the ratio is significantly decreasing from 5.9 times to 8.4 times. So while for the last year, the ending value is 3.68 times. So in conclusion, the company's efficiency in collecting its payment fluctuated in the range of 5.90 to 3.68 times. Analyzing the company's ability to turn over its inventory in a year indicate that the ratio is increasing steadily throughout the year, with an insignificant decrease from 2017 to 2018. So we can conclude that the company is in good condition in maintaining the numbers of inventory. For the company's gross profit margin, we can see that the ratio is steadily increasing from 2017 to 2020. This indicates that the company is improving its ability to generate gross profit from the sales and has more cash to pay the expenses. Next, we can look at the operating profit margin. Operating profit margin for the company is also increasing steadily throughout the year. So we had concluded that the company's gross profit generating from the sales are improving. For the debt ratio, the company's overall debt is still in ideal level with the maximum ratio of 49.25% in 2018. From 2017 to 2020, we had concluded that the company's financial risk was at the reasonable level as the ratio in 2017 is 41.43% and the ending in 2020 with 34.45%. Lastly, the debt equity ratio of the company are increasing from 2017 with 0.71 times to 0.97 times in 2018. After the slight increase, the ratio decreased to 0.53 in 2020. So we can conclude that the amount of the financing by debt of the company is increasing from 2017 to 2018, then decreasing significantly from 2019 to 2020. Due to data is unavailable on the industry average for the company sector, our analysis for this part is limited and we are only focusing on the company's performance for the year 2020. So analyzing the common size analysis for the year 2020 of the company, the first significant remark that can be made is that the company has a total of 33.48% of the trade receivable out of the 100% of the total assets. So the value of the trade receivable is directly impacting the company's average collection period for that year. The next significant value in terms of asset is the inventories. The companies hold 26.42% out of the assets in the inventories. So the overall portion of the assets of the company are held in the current asset. Next, analyzing the equity and the liability of the company. The total portion of the equity of the company is 65.55% with the leftover of 34.45% in the liability. So this data corresponds with the debt to equity ratio of the company for the year 2020, which indicates that the company's financial risk is at an ideal level. Lastly, looking at the income statement of the company, we can conclude that the cost of the goods sold by the company is 78.26% out of the sales. So it seems that the company's cost to acquire the inventory is the main expenses for the company. The company is left with 10.63% of the net income out of the 100% sales minus the total expenses.
Assalamualaikum, I am Amran Shaki. I will talk about the comparative and the cash flow analysis. So for the comparative analysis, we are choosing the year-to-year changes analysis to see the trend from the previous year. Analyzing the year-to-year changes from 2017 to 2020, we see the pattern and decide to mainly focus on the year 2019 as the year changes is the most significant to the company from the previous year and relates it with the ratio result. The first item that significantly impacts the company is the inventory in 2019 with a 335% increase. The appreciation in the inventory result in the decrease of the day to sell inventory and higher inventory turnover for the company on that year. Other than that, in 2019, the company's account receivable also increased tremendously with a value of 1037% from the previous year. The value heavily impacts the company average collection period by increasing the days from 61 days to 127 days. It also impacts the company inventory turnover by decreasing the value from 5.9 times in 2018 to 2.84 times in 2019. After analyzing the year-to-year changes, the next findings in the increase of the gross profit with 681%. It results in the increase in the gross profit margin significantly. The appreciation in the sales with a value of 394% also plays a prominent role by inflating the increase of operating profit margin by 4.7% in 2019. Lastly, the most impactful value in 2019 is the increase in the total asset with 191% and the total equity with 198%, resulting in a positive performance in terms of the company's financial risk in 2019. In conclusion, the company had changed extensively in the year 2019, resulting in a positive performance indicator for the company compared to the other years. Looking at the cash flow of the company in the operating activities, the net balance is positive with a value of 62 million. The main contributor to the positive value is profits before taxation amounting to 56.6 million and the operating profits amounting to 63.8 million. The only significant outflow in the operating is the income tax paid amounting to 10.7 million. For the investing activities, the net cash is positive with a value of 23.8 million. So the main contributor to this result is the non-current asset held for sale, amounting to 30 million. The primary outflow for this category is the acquisition of a subsidiary amounting to negative 5.2 million. And lastly, analyzing the cash flow from the financing activities, the balance is negative, amounting to negative 98.2 million. This is due to the significant amount of cash outflow in the net repayment of the bills payable with a value of negative 53.9 million and the dividend paid amounting to negative 32.6 million. In conclusion, the net cash for the year ended 31st December 2020 is negative 12.3 million. The primary reason for the negative net cash flow is from the financing activities. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Next is conclusion. In conclusion, we will discuss about what is their strength and weaknesses. Assalamualaikum, my name is Amir Hussein and I'm from BA2424D. So in conclusion, I will talk about the strength first and then I will talk about the weakness. The first strength of this company is Hextar Global Berhad industry had remained strong and stable in their financial performance. It shows the company had using more in equity rather than leverage to generate the income. It can be shown when the common size for total equity is 65.55% and the total liabilities is 34.45% in 2020. Due to higher ratio of total equity, they have more capital that can be used for investing purpose to grow the business. The second is good in debt management. This company can be considered as good in managing their debt. It can be seen when the debt ratio was decreased from 2019 to 2020. The debt was 34.45% in 2020 compared to 2019, which is 48.13%. It will reveal that the company has capability to manage their debt from creditors wisely and faces with the least of financial risk. Therefore, due to the deteriorated of debts and the credit rating for the company also not really impacted, which it gives the chances of securing for the future loans applying. The third one is excellent in revenue during movement control order. The total company's revenue was decreased from 337 million and 278,000 in 2019 to 418 million and 642,000 in 2020. Therefore, agriculture activities are allowed to operate during MCO period. The company's agriculture segment revenue increased significant in year 2020 was strongly supported by the research and development that expanding the number of product registration. Also, the increasing of the revenue from the consumer product segments such as wet wipes and tissues consumptions was mainly due to rise in market demanding during the COVID-19 pandemic because the consumers are more concerned on hygiene issues at that time. The fourth strength is wide variety of products. Hextar company capabilities in agrochemicals industry supported by its strength in research and development and commercialization over 600 products from herbicides, pesticides, fungicides and more that had registered with the Malaysia Pesticide Board under the Pesticides Act 1974. It shows that the company have produced wide variety of products. The last strength is good relationship with distribution partners. The company had completed in having good relationship with its distribution partners, which they continuously enhance the strength to solve its customers' complex problems to be the industry top choice for agricultural solution providers from its customer. For example, the company give the best services to their customer by giving the best quality of products to them to avoid from customer choosing other competitors, and the bargaining power of the buyer will decrease. Next, I will talk about the weaknesses of this company. The first weakness that we identify from financial statement and the company's balance sheet is that the company average collection period was doubled from 2017 to 2019. If not taken care of, this performance may impact the company cash on hands and decrease the ability to meet the financial obligations. Due to company being based on business-to-business types of activities, they rely on the receivables of their cash flows. According to the Investopedia.com, the company that relies on credit receivables must focus more on their policy of credit collection from their customer to ensure that the operation will operate smoothly. Our suggestion for the company is to improve the strictness of their credit policy. Second is manufacturing expenses. The subsequent weaknesses of the company is in the form of cost of goods sold. Based on our analysis, the portion of the COGS takes 78% out of the revenue. Compared with other expenses in the income segment, the COGS is the highest portion. So the COGS had impacted the gross profit and the company's total net income compared to other expenses. The first suggestion for the company is to invest in the equipment so that the cost of manufacturing would be lower for the long term. The next suggestion is in the aspect of the resources. We suggest that the company to choose a cheaper supplier to increase their gross profits. And the last one is negative cash flow for the year 2020. Based on our findings, the subsequent weaknesses of the company is the negative cash flow of the company for the year 2020. It shows that the company spends more money than it makes during that particular year. So based on our analysis, the company net cash flow is negative primarily comes from the financing activities. Even though it is a positive thing for the company to pay its dividend and liabilities, our suggestion for the company is to decrease the dividend payment to invest for itself. So that's all that we can conclude from analyzing this company. This company is good as they have more strength than their weaknesses even at this pandemic situation. So that's all from us, and thank you and Assalamualaikum.